What happened to Moses on Moriah Mountain? Was it a vision, a hallucination, or something else entirely? Join us as we explore the mysterious fire that may have changed the course of history. Exodus chapter 3 verses 1 to 6. And Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and he led them to the south side of Mount Horeb, which is also called Sinai. There Moses saw an unusual sight. There was a bush that was on fire, but it was not consumed. So he thought, I will now go and see this amazing sight. Why is the bush on fire and why is it not being burned up? Moses had to find out. When the angel of the Lord appeared to him in the bush, he called out to him and said, Here I am. Then he said, Do not come any closer. Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. Furthermore, he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. Now some scholars suggest that Moses might have actually been hallucinating. After all, he'd just led his flock through a long and arduous journey. Perhaps he was suffering from exhaustion and heat stroke, causing him to see things that weren't really there. Maybe the burning bush was just a clever trick of the light or a mirage in the desert. But what do you think? Do you believe that Moses truly saw a burning bush that was not being consumed by the flames? Or was it all just a vivid hallucination brought on by the harsh conditions of the desert? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As a pastor, I believe that the Bible is true. However, I also recognize that it's a book that's open to interpretation. We can choose to believe what we want, but that doesn't necessarily make it fact. So what do we really know about Moses and the burning bush? Well, for starters, we know that Moses was a reluctant prophet who didn't think he was worthy of the task that God had set before him. He was a murderer, an outcast, and a shepherd, not exactly the qualities that you would expect to see in a great leader. But God chose Moses anyway. We also know that the burning bush was a symbol of God's presence. It was a way for him to communicate with Moses and let him know that he was chosen. The bush may have looked like it was burning, but it wasn't. It was just being refined by the fire. In the same way, God was refining Moses for the task that lay ahead. So what does this story teach us? Well, it teaches us that no matter how ordinary or even sinful we may seem, God can still use us for his purposes. It also reminds us that God often communicates with people in unexpected ways, and sometimes we have to be willing to step outside of our comfort zone and do things we never thought possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.